Gareth Bale got a start for Real Madrid in their first game of the season in Balaidos against Celta, and it just took the Welshman 12 minutes to give an assist to Karim Benzema for Real Madrid's opener. 1-0, Gareth Bale with a lovely bit of footwork down the left flank. Celta had complained that the move had started with a foul by Casemiro. They got the ball in the back of the net in stoppage time in the first half, only for Bryce Mendes' goal to be disallowed for offside against Iago Aspas when he received the ball. VAR coming into action in stoppage time. Luka Modric was also punished by VAR, a red card for that challenge, before Toni Kroos made it 2-0 with a superb strike, given too much space by Lobotka. The German did the rest. And then second half substitute Lucas Vázquez would pile on the misery. 3-0 for 10-man Real Madrid with 10 minutes to go, finishing off an excellent team move. Before, in stoppage time, 18-year-old Iker Losada on his debut gets off to a dream start. A consolation goal against Real Madrid. It was too little, too late for Celta Vigo, who showed too much defensive fragility. Real Madrid looking very serious on their start to the campaign. James Rodriguez played for Real Madrid in their opening home game of the season for the first time in 826 days. That cross greeted by Gareth Bale, who missed by inches. James himself would have this attempt from outside the box. It was a dominant first half from Real Madrid. 14 shots, but only 3 of them on target and easily saved, like this one from Benzema at the near post by former Barca keeper Jordi Masip. Benzema continuing the fine form with which he started the campaign in Vigo last weekend. Images from the second half. Jovic, who came off the bench halfway through the second period, hitting the woodwork. Gareth Bale with the cross before Varane would link up with fellow Frenchman Karim Benzema, whose turn, an excellent shot, gave Madrid the lead and what seemed like it would be the 3 points. Superb individual goal from Karim Benzema. But some sloppy play was picked up by former Real Madrid youth player Oscar Plano. His cross collected by Sergi Guardiola, and with 2 minutes to go, Valladolid had got a well-deserved equaliser. It was a disciplined team effort from Sergio González's side. Zinedine Zidane congratulating the Valladolid manager at the end of the match. There was a minute's silence ahead of the final game of round 3 in the Ceramica between Villarreal and Real Madrid in memory of the daughter of Luis Enrique. Villarreal would take the lead thanks to Gerard Moreno, his 3rd goal in 3 starts this season, his 4th La Liga goal in 4 matches. Benzema would hit the post with this effort from just outside the box as Madrid warned the equaliser was coming, and come it did with the final touch of the second half. Gareth Bale finishing off an excellent move led by Dani Carvajal. In the second half, Kroos would test Andres twice in quick succession. Mario Gaspar would look for second half sub Baca. Gerard Moreno's shot saved. Ontiveros with the cross, and Moy Gomez would make it 2-1 for the Yellow Submarine. But they're becoming experts in letting leads go, and Gareth Bale would beat Andres Fernandez at the near post to get Madrid's second equaliser, the second goal for the Welshman in a ground he loves to play in. Although he blotted his copybook with 2 yellow cards in stoppage time. 2 goals, 2 yellows, a red for Gareth Bale. Final score, Villarreal 2, Real Madrid 2. The early kick-off on Saturday of round 4 was a game of 2 halves. The first half belonged to Real Madrid, and specifically Karim Benzema, here scoring the opener, set up by Dani Carvajal. Benzema would also grab the second, the assist coming from James Rodriguez. 2-0, second coming just 6 minutes after the opener. before an all-Brazilian effort. Casemiro finishing off from Vinicius Junior's cross would make it 3-0. Probably the best 45 minutes of football we've seen from Madrid this season. Madrid man Borja Mayoral would pull one back 5 minutes after the restart for Levante, before Benzema would be frustrated in his attempt to earn his hat-trick. Eden Hazard would make his La Liga debut with Madrid, as would Militao. Vinicius Junior would have the ball in the back of the net, but VAR would rule it out for an offside against James. And then from a short corner, Bardi's cross would be greeted on the far post by Gonzalo Melero, himself a former Real Madrid youth player, to get Levante right back in the game. They could have shared the points with this stoppage time header from Vezo, but the final score, Madrid 3, Levante 2.
Sevilla's head coach Julian Lopetegui took on his former side Real Madrid on Sunday evening in the Sanchez-Pizjuan, and it was the home side that had the first opportunity. Luke de Jong trying to head back across goal. At the other end, Eden Hazard drew a save from Thomas Vaclik in the Sevilla goal, having been fed in by Karim Benzema. And then Dani Carvajal racing onto a ball from James Rodriguez, also denied by the home side goalkeeper. In the second half, Real Madrid pushed up, and in the 64th minute, Bale found Carvajal, and his cross was put back across Vaclik and into the net to give Los Blancos the lead. A wonderfully taken goal. By way of reaction, former Real Madrid man Chicharito was brought into the fray. But it was Luke de Jong who would go close to equalising with a header. Went just past Thibaut Courtois' far post. Still Sevilla pressed. Nolito found fellow substitute Chicharito. He put the ball into the net. The linesman's flag signalled that the Mexican international was offside. VAR confirmed the decision was correct. Later on, Gareth Bale created an opportunity from a pass from Benzema, but he shot into the side netting, but it mattered not, as it finished Sevilla 0, Real Madrid 1.
Real Madrid welcomed Osasuna to the Santiago Bernabeu on match day 6 of the season. The game started off with this close chance. Well, Navas almost scoring an own goal. Ruben making the save, and Jovic putting the follow-up over. This effort from Toni Kroos flashed wide as Real Madrid turned up the heat on the newly promoted side. And Madrid finally scored, courtesy of Vinicius Junior, his first goal at the Santiago Bernabeu for Real Madrid. Flying into the top corner, he broke down in tears after scoring. This effort was put over to start off the second half by Jovic. Osasuna showed that they were starting the game with a shot from Fran Merida from distance. And Toni Kroos had another pop from outside the area, which Ruben had to parry away. Zinedine Zidane turned to the bench, brought on Rodrigo, who picked up from where Vinicius Junior left off. Squared up to the defender, went inside, found the angle, and slotted the ball home to make it 2-0 to Real Madrid. Madrid run out 2-0 winners on the night on matchday 6 against Osasuna. In front of a record crowd at the Wanda Metropolitano, Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid squared off in the derby on Saturday night. It was a big game with big chances for both sides. Joao Felix had an early one that he dragged wide, whilst Toni Kroos decided to have a go from distance, which Jan Oblak was able to get down to. Another opportunity for Joao Felix, another shot around the left post. The Portuguese, though, certainly showing willing in his first official derby against the old enemy Real Madrid. Toni Kroos unleashed another shot from distance, which Oblak was able to meet. As The first half ended in a stalemate. The second half saw this chance, one of the best from Saul as he flicked it on at the near post. It nearly dropped in at the back post. Luka Modric was brought on during the second half, around about midway through. He played a crossfield ball. It was sent back into the area and Karim Benzema met it true with a header. Jan Oblak, though, with a sturdy left hand, was able to keep it out. And the game ended goalless. The final score, Atletico Madrid 0, Real Madrid 0.
First v second on Saturday in the Bernabeu as Granada visited Real Madrid. Benzema making it 1-0 before the 2 minutes were up. The superb assist from Gareth Bale. And in stoppage time of the first half, Eden Hazard gets his first La Liga goal with Real Madrid, set up brilliantly by Fede Valverde. Images from the second half. And Luka Modric with this screamer would seem to put the 3 points beyond the reach of Granada. 3-0 before Areola would commit a rather infantile penalty on Fernandez, and Darwin Machis would step up to pull one back for the Andalusians. And then Vadillo's corner flicked on at the near post by Germán Sanchez. Dominguez Duarte doing the rest. All of a sudden, Granada just 1 goal away from a share of the points, until Odriozola would reach the byline, pull one back for second half substitute James Rodriguez to grab Real Madrid's 4th in stoppage time. Final score in this battle at the top of the table, Real Madrid 4, Granada 2.
Mallorca claimed a famous win over Real Madrid on Saturday night, the only goal coming early on through Lago Junior, cutting inside and bending a brilliant shot into the far corner, beating Thibaut Courtois. First goal of the season for Lago Junior. The biggest threat from Real Madrid was posed by Vinicius Junior, who caused a lot of problems with his running at the Mallorca defence in his first half, but his shooting was off the mark. Karim Benzema was so unfortunate to be denied an equaliser with a deft half volley onto the crossbar. And towards the end of the half, Marcelo with a long-range shot that was gathered by Manolo Reina. And as the game went on, Real Madrid became more ragged, and their work was made even harder by this dismissal. Alvaro Odriozola had already been booked when he launched into a challenge on Lago Junior and was sent off. So down to 10 men for the latter stages. No complaints about that decision. Last roll of the dice for Real Madrid. Free kick from James, headed on by Eder Militao, but straight at the goalkeeper. Easy save for Manolo Reina, who didn't have much to do in the second half, as Mallorca held on for a huge victory, their second in a row to climb out of the relegation zone. The goal from Lago Junior making the difference. Mallorca 1, Real Madrid 0.
Real Madrid were back in action against Leganés in the local derby. Zinedine Zidane's side made the perfect start. The cross from Marcelo, Benzema free at the far post, and Rodrigo with his first start, scoring his first goal to make it 1-0. And just 90 seconds after taking the lead, the home team doubled their advantage. Benzema with his second assist of the game. Toni Kroos with a very neat finish inside the far post. Then Madrid were handed the chance for a third. Eden Hazard brought down in the area. Sergio Ramos saw his first penalty saved. VAR said the keeper moved too early. Ramos took advantage of the second chance to score from the spot to make it 3-0. Oscar Rodriguez on loan from Real Madrid at Liga had their only shot on target in the first half. And it was very much the same story in the second period. Benzema hit the post, but moments later had the chance to get his name on the score sheet when Modric was fouled in the area by Kenny Tomado. The France striker with his 7th goal in the league. Jonathan Silva with a shot that Thibaut Courtois comfortably saved. In second half injury time, the 5th was added as Luka Jovic scored his first ever goal in Real Madrid's colours. He could have had another late on, but it mattered not as it finished in the Santiago Bernabeu Real Madrid 5, Leganés 0.
Real Madrid held by Real Betis on Saturday night. Karim Benzema with the early shot after a lovely dummy by Luka Modric, but Joao Robles with a good save. Real Madrid thought they'd taken the lead when Eden Hazard cut inside to score, but he was offside when he received the pass from Karim Benzema, so no goal. There is the image to show exactly why. Another opportunity before half-time as Benzema chested down and Sergio Ramos got into an advanced position to shoot powerfully. Another good stop by Robles. Loose touch by Varane gave possession to Laurent Moron, and he immediately tried a snapshot from all of 40 yards that drew a good save from Thibaut Courtois. Into the second half, Betis threatening again, this time Alex Moreno, the left wing back. It was the other left back, Mendy, coming forward, but he couldn't keep it on target wide of the post. Madrid had a penalty appeal that was waved away, and that led to a quick counter-attack which concluded with Fekir having a shot saved by Courtois. Vinicius came off the bench and nearly won it for Madrid with a low shot that Robles effectively sat on to save. And then the last chance, Dani Carvajal from the edge of the box, saved by Robles and scrambled away by Zufidal. So the stalemate stayed intact. All square, Real Madrid 0, Real Betis 0.
Torrential rain in Iparua greeted the visit of Real Madrid, seeking revenge for last season's 3-0 defeat here to Eibar. As the defence failed to clear this attack, the ball would fall to the feet of Karim Benzema, who made no mistake with his 8th goal of the season. Eden Hazard would go down under the challenge of De Blasis on 20 minutes. Sergio Ramos made no mistake from the penalty spot. At the other end, Escalante with Eibar's best first half opportunity before Lucas Vázquez would go down under the challenge of Cote, and Benzema would step up and score. 29 minutes gone, 3-0 to Madrid. Top scorer of La Liga with 9 strikes, Karim Benzema. Escalante getting on the end of Orellana's cross there, failing to keep the ball down. Images now of the second half. Hazard's shot takes a deflection and goes narrowly wide before Lucas Vázquez would make the dummy run. Modric would pull it back to Valverde, who from the edge of the penalty area would make it 4. Valverde performing once again for Zinedine Zidane. Second half sub Edu Exposito dragging this one wide on the final whistle. Revenge for Madrid. Eibar 0, Real Madrid 4.
Real Madrid gained a 3-1 victory over Real Sociedad on Saturday night, but they had to come from behind to do so. Just 2 minutes played when a terrible back pass from Sergio Ramos was pounced upon by Willian José. He rounded Thibaut Courtois and finished well the opening goal, and it could have been 2 shortly after that. Neither Martin Odegaard nor Willian José able to convert from the cross. Ferland Mendy with the first effort on goal for Real Madrid. The leveller came just before half-time. Luka Modric with the free kick. Karim Benzema shouldering the ball over the line for his 10th goal of the season. The lead came just after the break. Modric laying it off for Fede Valverde, and a huge deflection of Mikel Oyarzabal left Alex Ramiro with no chance. Nearly a leveller for Willian José from a corner, but saved by Courtois. And then substitute Gareth Bale, who was mercilessly jeered by the home fans, sending in the cross. Benzema headed it down, and Modric finished with an outstanding left-footed strike. Bale playing his part in it, a bright performance off the bench for him in the last 20 minutes. Alexander Isak nearly pulling one back. So the final effort of the game coming from Benzema, another excellent performance from him. Saved well by Ramiro, but Real Madrid getting the victory, 3-1.
Real Madrid visited Mendizorroza in the pouring rain on Saturday. There was an early shout for a penalty as Aleix Vidal went down. VAR would show that there wasn't enough contact, and Vidal would see a yellow card for his trouble. Isco would whip this cross in. It would rebound off Chimo Navarro, and then the upright in Madrid's clearest chance of the first half. In the closing moments before the break, Casemiro forcing this fine save from Pacheco. Images from the second half with the rain ever heavier. A Toni Kroos free kick greeted by a glancing header from captain courageous Sergio Ramos. Real Madrid taking the lead 1-0. But Alaves would fight back. Ramos would be involved again, hitting Joselu in the face, and Lucas Perez scoring the equaliser from the penalty spot with just over 20 minutes to go. But Luka Modric's cross to the far post would be greeted by Isco. Pacheco would block it onto the post. Dani Carvajal would get the better of La Guardia to bundle it over the line for what would eventually be the winner. Manu Garcia forcing a save there out of Areola, but when the final whistle went, the final score, Alaves 1, Real Madrid 2 in the pouring rain. Espanyol visited the Bernabeu to take on Real Madrid on Saturday, desperately needing some points going into the game. Second from bottom of the table, this fine effort from Granero, well saved by Thibaut Courtois after Espanyol had soaked up the early pressure from the hosts. Valverde forcing one of a number of fine saves out of Diego Lopez, himself a former Real Madrid man. On 38 minutes, Rafa Varane would score the opener, finishing off a fine move between Valverde, Benzema and Casemiro. In the second half, Benzema would enjoy a couple of clear-cut chances. This one saved by Lopez yet again. And this one on the turn with the left foot, narrowly wide. Espanyol sought an equaliser. Marc Roca's effort comfortable for Thibaut Courtois before Benzema would combine with the excellent Fede Valverde to make it 2-0 with 11 minutes to go. There'd be a rash challenge here from Mendy, which would see him receive a second yellow card. But the final score in the Bernabeu, Real Madrid 2, Espanyol 0.
Real Madrid made an excellent start to their visit to Mestalla on Sunday evening. Fede Valverde with the first shot, Jaume Domenech making the save. And then Karim Benzema would have a chance, turning, firing goalwards. The Valencia keeper making the stop. The home team's first opportunity saw Ferran Torres spin away from Rafa Varane, turn, but his low drive was straight into the gloves of Thibaut Courtois. The start of the second half, Los Che would have another opportunity, and it was Torres once more, and once again denied by Courtois. But then the opening goal would go the way of Albert Celades' side. Daniel Vaz's pass into the area, and Carlos Soler driving home for his first goal of the season in La Liga Santander. So Valencia looked like they were on their way to all 3 points until the 95th minute. Thibaut Courtois' header saved by Domenech. Garay's flick took it into the path of Karim Benzema, and with the very last kick of the game, Real Madrid had earned themselves a share of the spoils. It was an absolute thriller in Mestalla and had a final twist in the tail as it finished Valencia 1, Real Madrid 1. Camp Nou hosted El Clasico on Wednesday evening as Barcelona and Real Madrid both went in search of outright leadership of La Liga Santander. Real Madrid came close to opening the scoring when Casemiro's header was cleared off the line by Gerard Piqué. Challenge there by Lenglet on Rafael Varane. It's not adjudged to have been a penalty. And at the other end, Sergio Ramos kept the ball out underneath his own crossbar. Thibaut Courtois palming the ball down. Messi aiming goalwards. Ramos clearing off the line. Then Jordi Alba would have an opportunity, picked out by Messi. The fullback onside. could only slide the ball wide of Thibaut Courtois' left hand upright. Fede Valverde, who'd already seen one shot fly wide of the mark, then warmed the gloves of Ter Stegen. In the second half, Gareth Bale was picked out by Valverde, but the Wales international could only fire into the side netting. He would have the ball into the back of the net, but as he wheeled away to celebrate, the linesman's flag was raised. VAR would confirm that Ferland Mendy was a metre or so behind the last man. Late on, Luis Suarez would swing a shot round Gareth Bale, but wide of the mark, and so El Clásico ended 0-0. In the final game of the year in La Liga Santander, Real Madrid would have the first opportunity. Vinicius Junior weaving his way past Íñigo Martínez, only to be denied by Unai Simón. Then Toni Kroos would venture into the penalty area. And this time the shoulder of the visitors' goalkeeper would save Los Leones from conceding the opening goal. At the other end, Iñaki Williams had a chance, steering the ball goalwards. Thibaut Courtois with an excellent save low down to his left. Karim Benzema rounded the goalkeeper. Unai Núñez hooking the ball away with a smart piece of defending. In the second half, Nacho, who'd just come on to replace Eder Militao, saw his header bounce back off the frame of the goal. While Karim Benzema was having a personal duel with Simón, once again denied by the visitors' keeper. Then Luka Jovic would see Real Madrid strike the woodwork for the third time. The substitute's header bouncing back off the post before Sergio Ramos prodded the ball into the keeper's gloves. Athletic would have one last opportunity. Leque steering himself away from Toni Kroos, shooting wide of the far post. So the last game of the year ended goalless as it finished 0-0 in the Santiago Bernabeu.
There was a derby at the weekend in Madrid in the Coliseum. Getafe hosting Real Madrid. The first half chances came for the home side. Adam Bani's shot brilliantly saved there by Thibaut Courtois. But when Mendy floated this cross in after a Toni Kroos free kick, David Soria bumbled the ball over his own line for an own goal, giving Real Madrid the lead. Poorly judged by the former Sevilla keeper there. Still, Getafe put the pressure on their visitors. Fahir's cross here, greeted by Cabrera's head, and another fine save from Thibaut Courtois. 8 minutes after the restart, Valverde made it 2-0, getting on the end of Toni Kroos's free kick. Bordalas won't be happy with the way his team defended set pieces on Saturday afternoon. Fede Valverde setting up Gareth Bale here, who tried to go round Soria but was frustrated by the former Sevilla man. Before Bale himself would set Valverde through in the final move of the game in stoppage time, the young Uruguayan would square it for Luka Modric to make it 3-0 to Real Madrid. Generosity itself from Fede Valverde. The final score in the Coliseum, Getafe 0, Real Madrid 3. The Real Madrid kids celebrated winning the Promises Trophy, and absent injured captain Ramos the Supercopa ahead of Sevilla's visit. And Luke de Jong seemed to have put the visitors ahead, although a VAR review would say that Gudeli had illegally blocked Militao in the lead up to the goal, and it didn't stand. A moment of brilliance on 59 minutes as Casemiro takes advantage of a cinematic quality assist from Luke de Jong to make it 1-0. Brilliant finish from the big midfielder. 7 minutes later, Luke de Jong's effort would stand. That was 1-1. Munir battling and possibly handling, but VAR would say that there was no way he could avoid it. Luke de Jong did the rest. Just 5 minutes afterwards, however, Casemiro would grab his second, taking advantage of lax defending by Gudeli and Koundé to get on the end of Lucas Vázquez's precision cross. Vinicius gave the fans some thrills with his pace and technicality. That cutback greeted by Toni Kroos, saved by Vaclik, and Endiziri, Sevilla's winter signing, missing a chance to equalise. Final score in the Bernabeu: Real Madrid 2, Sevilla 1.
Real Madrid knew that picking up anything from Jose Soria would send them to the top of the table. And they thought they'd taken the lead when Toni Kroos' free kick was turned into the net by Casemiro. The VAR would review the move. There was a judge that the Brazilian was offside. Just beyond Mohamed Salisu as Kroos' free kick came in. At the other end, Michel tried his luck, looking to put a corner directly beyond the reach of Thibaut Courtois, but the Belgium international had his wits about him. The first effort of the second half saw Rodrigo move on to the loose ball. Jordi Masip diving low down to his left to make the save. And then a corner 12 minutes from the end of the 90. Came back to Toni Kroos, and his centre found the head of Nacho, making only his 4th start of the season, and he made it 1-0 to Los Blancos. Racing across to celebrate with manager Zinedine Zidane immediately. A guided header beyond the reach of the keeper and inside the far post. Valladolid tried to come back into the game. Oscar Plano, on as a substitute, found Sergi Guardiola, but his effort was blocked by Ferland Mendy. And so it finished with Los Blancos taking all 3 points. Real Valladolid 0, Real Madrid 1.
The Santiago Bernabeu hosted a Madrid derby on match day 22. It was Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid. Atleti struggling as of late against the side top of the table. It was Atleti who almost struck first. An effort from Vitolo saved by Thibaut Courtois, the one-time Atletico Madrid player. Correa would strike a shot against the post. And a penalty appeal for Atletico Madrid will be waved off. Morata went down under the challenge of Casemiro. At the other end, a Modric effort was caught by Jan Oblak. And to start off the second half action, a curling effort from Valverde was saved by Oblak. A two-handed parry away. The deadlock was finally broken by Karim Benzema, a man in form in front of goal. Latching on to a perfect delivery from Mondi. It was at just the right height for him to tap the ball past Jan Oblak and hand Real Madrid the advantage. There were several attempts to equalise from Atleti. This one from Partey flying off target. And more chances for Real Madrid, but just a single goal decided it. The final score, Real Madrid 1, Atletico Madrid 0.
Real Madrid were in Pamplona taking on Osasuna on Sunday. The first 15 minutes or so, tremendous pressure from the home side here. Courtois responding brilliantly to Ruben Garcia. John Moncayola would injure himself trying to stop Luka Modric and would early on be replaced by Fran Merida before Unai Garcia made it 1-0 with this risky diving header, angling the ball beyond the reach of Thibaut Courtois as the home side went ahead. There was a little bit of good fortune about Isco's equaliser on 33 minutes. No question about the finish. And then Madrid, 5 minutes later, would take the lead through their captain, Sergio Ramos, after Casemiro had headed Modric's corner back across the face of the goal in the second half. Ruben Garcia had an opportunity to equalise before Benzema, showing great generosity, laid this one off for second half substitute Lucas Vazquez to make it 3. And in stoppage time, Fede Valverde would be equally generous. Luka Jovic with an unstoppable finish. There was a chance for some consolation from Inigo Perez, but the final score was Osasuna 1, Real Madrid 4.
Real Madrid were looking to reopen their 3-point lead at the top of La Liga Santander as Celta de Vigo visited in the final game of matchday 24. But it was the visitors that took the lead. Iago Aspas finding Smolov, and the Russia international beating Thibaut Courtois. Real Madrid tasked with coming from behind. Casemiro tried his luck from distance, but sent that shot up and over the crossbar. Then Gareth Bale went solo, trying his luck from a long way out, but his shot drifted wide of the far post. From Celta's first corner of the game, he almost made it too. Joseph Edu with the header, Thibaut Courtois with the spectacular save. In the second half, Real Madrid knew they had to up the ante, and up the ante they did. Marcelo's ball back, Toni Kroos applying the finish to draw the home side level. Then Real Madrid were handed the chance to take the lead. Ruben Blanco racing off his line, catching Eden Hazard. From the resulting penalty, Sergio Ramos drove the ball into the bottom corner of the net, and the home side were now in front. But there would be a late twist in the tail. Denis Suarez coming off the bench to find fellow substitute Santi Mina with a glorious pass. And Mina finding the back of the net. Late on, there'd be an opportunity for Madrid to win the game, but Benzema's shot was saved, and it would end on as even as it finished Real Madrid 2, Celta Vigo 2.
Levante put a big dent in Real Madrid's title aspirations with a 1-0 win on Saturday night. Real Madrid had plenty of chances, but wasted them all. That one early on for Karim Benzema after the through ball from Isco, making his 200th appearance for the club. Then there was an opportunity for Casemiro after a terrible punch out by Aitor Fernandez, but Casemiro sending it wide with the keeper stranded. Luka Modric tried his luck from outside the box, but Aitor getting his fists behind it to push it wide. Powerful drive from Modric, but a save was made. Then the chance in the second half fell to Eden Hazard, but poor control and a scuffed finish let him down. And Hazard, shortly after that, had to limp out of the action as Levante grew into the game. Jose Campani with a long-range shot that was deflected by Dani Carvajal, and then the winner came in spectacular circumstances. Jose Luis Morales running onto a lofted ball and thrashing it past Thibaut Courtois, who pulled his arms out of the way, didn't even try to make the save. In the last minute, Sergio Ramos sent a header straight at Aitor, and that rather summed up Real Madrid's finishing. They could not find a way past the Levante defence as they fall to their first defeat since October. Levante with the victory. It finishes Levante 1, Real Madrid 0.
The league leadership was in play as Barcelona visited a rainy Bernabeu to take on Real Madrid in another edition of El Clásico. There were chances at either end in a pulsating first half. Arthur was denied by Courtois with a one-on-one run on goal, as was Leo Messi not long after that. The Argentinian flying straight at the Belgian international as Ronaldo watched on from the boxes at his former stomping ground. The action moved into the second half. This time acrobatic stuff from Ter Stegen as Isco looked to be putting Los Blancos 1-0 up. And then Ter Stegen would do it again to the same player, this time down low with the help of Gerard Piqué. Somehow the ball stayed out and Barcelona denied Isco the opening goal. Benzema fired over after he was set up by Dani Carvajal. As Madrid really up their game in the second half. The breakthrough would come through Vinicius, his second in La Liga of the campaign. He got in behind the Barca defence. Piqué's deflection taking it past Ter Stegen. Messi then put a header on a plate for Piqué, who put the ball wide. And then the fairy tale happened. Mariano was on for Benzema in the 91st minute, and in the 92nd did this. His fourth touch of the La Liga season, putting Madrid out of sight. Madrid league leaders once again. The final score, Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 0.
Real Betis against Real Madrid had all the ingredients to be a blockbuster, and it turned out to be exactly that. Early on, Vinicius Jr. sent a shot just wide of the mark as the away side pushed forward. Then Nabil Fekir tested Thibaut Courtois' reflexes, the Belgian responding with a superb save. Then Fekir went to ground, and as Betis appealed for a penalty, Sydney played to the whistle and drove the ball into the top right-hand corner of the net to give the home side the lead. Real Madrid were handed away back into the game in first half injury time. Marcelo fouled in the area. Karim Benzema tucking away the resulting penalty to make it 1-1 at half-time. In the second half, Betis had a golden opportunity to regain the lead. Joaquin rounding the goalkeeper, but instead of going for goal, looked for Canales. Luka Modric clearing the danger. Then Ferland Mendy went close to putting Madrid in front. Joel Robles getting his fingertips to the substitute shot and turning it on to the crossbar. But a loose pass from Karim Benzema. Guardado intercepted, and substitute Christian Tello rolled the ball past Thibaut Courtois, and Real Betis were back in front once again. And that was how it finished. Real Betis 2, Real Madrid 1.
Real Madrid played their first ever senior game at the Estadio Alfredo Di Stefano, their temporary new home until the end of the season, and they only needed 3 minutes to take the lead. Karim Benzema trying to wriggle his way through, and then when the ball fell loose, what a finish from Toni Kroos. There was a check to see whether Benzema was offside in the build-up, but he wasn't, and Kroos with the missile into the top corner. Then a counter-attacking goal to make it 2-0. Sergio Ramos started it and finished it, courtesy of an unselfish assist from Eden Hazard. And then it was 3, Hazard having his shot saved. The ball only cleared as far as Marcelo, and what a thunderous strike from him into the bottom left corner. So 3-0 at half-time. Eibar responded well after the break, and Edu Exposito forcing a fine save from Thibaut Courtois with a fierce long-range strike. Then the crossbar to the rescue as Sergi Enrique, with his first touch after coming on, very nearly got one back. The pressure told as a shot from Exposito from a corner hit Pedro Bigas on the back and deceived Courtois through his legs and over the line. It was a great chance for 3-2 when Pedro Leon was found in space, but he sent it too close to Courtois, and Real Madrid survived without any further scares. Real Madrid 3, Eibar 1. Real Madrid sent out a message with a powerful second half performance against Valencia on Thursday night. The visitors had their chances in the first half, nearly went ahead when Rodrigo hit the post, a great fingertip on it from Thibaut Courtois. And then there was controversy with a disallowed goal, Rodrigo turning it in, but Maxi Gomez was ruled to be offside. Even though he didn't touch the ball, he was interfering with Rafa Varane, so he was active, and the offside was called. The opening goal not too long into the second half as Eden Hazard helped it on for Karim Benzema. A fine low finish from him. Then a fairy tale return for Marco Asensio. His first appearance of the season after a long injury layoff, and within a minute he did that. A great finish, volleyed into the corner, steered home. First touch of the season for Marco Asensio. An even better goal followed as Karim Benzema, goal of the season perhaps, goal of his career perhaps. A beautiful first touch and a sublime second, left-footed volley, thumped home. Great goal. Valencia's night got worse as young substitute Kang In Lee got himself sent off with a ridiculous swipe at Sergio Ramos. No question about the straight red despite his complaints. And a good win for the home side. Real Madrid 3, Valencia 0. Real Madrid moved to the top of La Liga with a 2-1 win at Real Sociedad. Most of the action coming in the second half, starting with this penalty. A foul by Diego Llorente on Vinicius, allowing Sergio Ramos to step up and roll it home, sending the keeper the wrong way. And there was an injury to Ramos, a clash of knees with Alexander Isak, so he had to leave the scene. And Toni Kroos tried to make it 2-0, saved by Alex Romero. Real Sociedad thought they'd levelled Adnan Januzaj with the strike, but Mikel Merino was offside and obstructing the view of Thibaut Courtois. A couple of minutes later, Fede Valverde crossing, Karim Benzema controlling and turning to shoot, and wrong foot Romero. There was a VAR review to see whether it was hand, arm or shoulder that Benzema had used in controlling the ball, and the conclusion was shoulder. So the goal stands, 2-0 up for Real Madrid. Real Sociedad did pull one up in the latter stages. Mikel Merino with a fine left-footed strike off the underside of the crossbar, halving the deficit. One more opportunity to claim a point, but the header of Aritz Elizondo flew wide, so it finished Real Sociedad 1, Real Madrid 2.
Mallorca were the visitors to take on Real Madrid in the Alfredo Di Stefano Stadium on Wednesday. Early chance for Karim Benzema. Gareth Bale with the next opportunity for Madrid, both well saved by Reina, the veteran Mallorca keeper. Mallorca showed gumption in attack too. Here Baba testing Thibaut Courtois. But when Luka Modric found Vinicius Jr. and Bale got out the way, Vinicius showed his finishing skills, sometimes he's often criticised for. There was a possible foul, so the Mallorca players felt, on Dani Rodriguez in the build-up. Vinicius making no mistake. He could have made it 2-0, superbly set up by Karim Benzema, but would hit the crossbar. In the second half, Ramos would assume the responsibility of taking this direct free kick. His precision was spot on, 2-0. Takekubo showed real signs of class in front of the team he hopes to return to next season. Here hitting the side netting, having got away from Ramos. Luca Romero would become the youngest player ever to make his La Liga debut. He was born a month after Leo Messi's debut, but the final score in Valdebebas, Madrid 2, Mallorca 0.
Real Madrid moving 2 points clear at the top of the table against Espanyol, managed for the first time by Rufete. Marc Roca threatening from a free kick early on for Espanyol, and there was also a chance for Wu Lei, who fired it over the bar after being sent through by Adrien Barba. Bright start from Espanyol. Real Madrid gradually got the upper hand though, and Karim Benzema threatened the opener with a good strike that his former teammate Diego Lopez was able to push over the bar. And then a real bit of pinball inside the box. Casemiro trying his luck. Eventually it bounced out to Eden Hazard, and Lopez making the save. Really crazy sequence. And in the end, it dropped for Hazard. His bouncing shot pushed over the bar. Then the breakthrough just before half-time, and what an assist from Karim Benzema, teeing up Casemiro with the no-look nutmeg back heel pass. Brilliant from Benzema. Casemiro grateful to put it in the back of the net. Benzema nearly doubled the lead in the second half after meeting Isco's cross, and Lopez was able to make the save. And a free kick from Raúl de Tomàs forced Thibaut Courtois into action at the other end, as Espanyol battled, but to no avail. Real Madrid with the victory. Espanyol 0, Real Madrid 1.
Getafe visiting Real Madrid for the final game of round 33. Determined to make life difficult for Zinedine Zidane's men. Here Courtois saving for Macheta in a first half in which Getafe had the better of things. Mata forcing Courtois into a save there. Best opportunity for Los Blancos, this Mendy cross, Vinicius' shot, and a world-class stop from David Soria in goal for Getafe. Absolutely brilliant from the former Sevilla keeper. Ramos with this cross into Isco, who volleyed to the near post, well saved again by Soria, who clattered into the upright and forcing the ball wide for a corner. Images from the second half, which begins with this Luka Modric effort. Took a deflection to go wide. At the other end, an opportunity here for Mata, who tries to chip Thibaut Courtois. Not a lot of players have succeeded in doing that. But on 79 minutes, Dani Carvajal clattering into Oliveira to win a penalty. And you would probably put your life savings on Sergio Ramos scoring it, which indeed he did. A goal which leaves Madrid 4 points clear at the top of the table. Final score, Real Madrid 1, Getafe 0. The title ever closer to Real Madrid.
Matchday 34's fixture in La Liga Santander between Athletic Club and Real Madrid at the Nuevo San Mamés. The early chance for Real Madrid, for Asensio in his first start for Real Madrid, forcing Unai Simón into the free kick save. Athletic Club would quickly respond with a very good header from Raúl García, forcing Thibaut Courtois into his first save of the afternoon. Marco Asensio looked very lively alongside Marcelo down the left-hand side, putting in another good cross for the winger on the right-hand side. Rodrigo, his header just over the bar. For the opposition, though, the home side, Iñaki Williams would be the one to try and cause Real Madrid problems. His effort just wide. But the turning point of the game would come in the 70th minute after this trot from Dani Garcia on Marcelo would get checked by VAR, and the penalty would be given with 20 minutes to go for the visitors' favour. The captain for Real Madrid, Sergio Ramos, stepping up to put it in past Unai Simón. The goalkeeper went the right way, just couldn't get contact with the ball. Similar outcome to Real Madrid's last victory against Getafe at the Alfredo Di Stéfano. The goal scorer would then be in a bit of an altercation with Rubén García for another trod there. Possible penalty, wasn't checked by VAR. Karim Benzema would later on try to double Los Blancos' lead. Unai Simón, though, doing really well to save that with his foot. It ended at the Nuevo San Mamés, Athletic Club 0, Real Madrid 1.
Real Madrid moving closer to the title, but it was hard work against Alaves, who very nearly moved into the lead after 3 minutes. Joselu hitting the bar, and then the rebound effort from Lucas Perez cleared off the line by Rafa Varane. The opening goal came courtesy of a penalty after 11 minutes, a clumsy challenge by Chimo Navarro on Mondi, and Karim Benzema stepped up to slot it home, wearing the captain's armband in the absence of Sergio Ramos, who was suspended and also on penalty-taking duties. Nearly 2-0 with a close thing to an own goal as Camarasa deflected the cross from Mundi goalwards. It was 2-0 early in the second half. Rodrigo finding Benzema, who squared it to Marco Asensio for an easy tap-in. Initially flagged offside, but the replay showing that Benzema was onside when the ball was played. So after review, the goal stood. Asensio's second since the restart. He then turned provider for Benzema, whose shot was clawed away by Roberto. A good stop by the busy visiting goalkeeper. And then there was an effort for Rodrigo. So much of Real Madrid's attacking play coming down the left. But he had his effort saved. Thibaut Courtois made a decent stop from Joselu to protect yet another clean sheet, as the league leaders pick up 3 more points. Real Madrid 2, Alaves 0. Real Madrid taking another step towards the title by beating Granada, starting off with this fine goal from Ferland Mondi from an impossibly narrow angle, getting it past Rui Silva. That was after 10 minutes, and after 16 minutes it was 2. Karim Benzema stepping inside for a fabulous finish into the far corner. The first effort on goal from Granada was a header from Domingos Duarte, well saved by Thibaut Courtois. But Real Madrid bossed the first half and came close to a third goal when Benzema's fine strike was pushed over by Rui Silva, hit with a lot of power there by Benzema. The game changed early in the second half. Yangel Herrera playing the ball through, and Darwin Machis converting through the legs of Courtois. So the home side right back in it. Isco with a shot from the edge of the box, comfortably saved by Rui Silva, but it was mostly Granada pressure in the second half, and they came close to an equaliser when Antonin, the substitute, forced a great save from Courtois. The danger not cleared. Gil Diaz finding Ismail Koibashi, and his cutback reaching Ramon Aziz, but Sergio Ramos off the line. So a double reprieve for Real Madrid. First the save from Courtois, and then the goal line clearance for Ramos as they held on for the victory. They now need one more for the title. Granada 1, Real Madrid 2.
Real Madrid win their 10th consecutive game and are crowned champions of La Liga. Karim Benzema gets the first goal from Modric's pass on 29 minutes through the legs of Sergio Asenko. Sergio Ramos is brought down by Sofiane. Interesting penalty. Ramos rolls it to Benzema. Benzema puts it in the back of the net, but Benzema had encroached the area and the penalty has to be retaken. Benzema is the man who retakes it. And where does he put it? Well, he puts it exactly where he put the first effort, in the corner past Sergio Asenjo, as we see here. So 2-0 to Real Madrid. Far more conventional second spot kick. 77 minutes on the clock. Toni Kroos hits the bar. And Asensio's header from the rebound doesn't beat Asenjo, so it stays at 2-0. And this header from Vicente Iborra past Thibaut Courtois made it interesting at the end. That was with 6 minutes left. And Villarreal very nearly levelled late on. A double save from Courtois. Iborra can't believe that as he puts it wide. But Real Madrid win again and get to lift the trophy for the 34th time in their history. The final score: Real Madrid 2, Villarreal 1. Madrid are champions.
Leganés gave newly crowned La Liga Santander champions Real Madrid a guard of honour at the start of their game. And it was Real Madrid that had the first opportunity. Fede Valverde producing a fine save from Pichu Cuellar. Then 9 minutes in, Sergio Ramos found the back of the net to put Madrid in front with his 11th goal of the season. Virtually unmarked in the centre. Visitors' captain nodding his team into the lead. Leganés knew that they had to win this game if they were to have any chance of staying up, and they drew level in first half injury time. Jonathan Silva finding Brian Hill, who put the ball under Alphonse Areola and into the net. But 7 minutes after the break, Los Blancos were ahead again. Isco with a wonderful pass in behind the defence, and Marco Asensio finding the net. Oscar Rodriguez then tried his luck. Areola making one of a number of saves that he had to in the encounter. Los Pepineros would be back on terms. Asali off the bench, found by Jonathan Silva, and it was 2-2 with 12 minutes to go. Leganés pushed everything forward. Substitute Javier Aviles volleying wide as VAR checked the touch by Luka Jovic's arm. No penalty, and in second half injury time, Oscar lifted the ball up and over the bar. But that was it. Leganés' 4-year stay in the top flight came to an end as it ended at Butarque. Leganés 2, Real Madrid 2.